We just had the mayor of Berlin as well as the immigration head of Berlin telling us that it is a real chance for Germany and for Berlin to open the doors and to have a global world, almost a global citizen here, all in here in Berlin. So I have already, I've seen you have taken almost about 1 million people. There's pressure on the government to limit the numbers. What are your challenges and what do you think? Is it a real chance or it is a challenge that needs to be curbed?
Well, it is obviously a challenge because there are so many people coming at once. And the big challenge is if they would come more slowly, it would be easy to integrate, also to have all the facilities ready. But right now we have to cope with the challenge that so many come in such a short time, and obviously the sad part of it is the reason why they come, because they come from countries where you have war, where you have civil unrest, and where people do not have any hope for the future. The other part is it is happening right now. We have to find solutions, and that's what we are doing also in Berlin. The lines sometimes longer than we want them to be, but we still need the administration to do their work as well, which is very difficult.
Well, sir, there's also an argument you already have your own immigration issues to deal with. That's within the country. So many issues of housing the asylum seekers that have been on the waiting list, and now there are more additions to that. Do you think it is feasible to take all these problems while those exist within the system already?
Well, I have to say, I don't think we have a choice. So we have to, and this is why I'm actually pretty new now in dealing with this, but I have done work in other parts of the world, in Afghanistan for 4.5 years, and I know how the places are where those people come from. So it is something that we have to do, and I don't see that there is a choice to say, no, we can't do it. But we have to be innovative, we have to find solutions for housing, but also then for jobs and for integration, and that is something that I don't see that we can say no, but we just have to work our best to make it happen. And as you see here, we can't do it as a state, but we need all those volunteers to support this process. And it is also in the German society a big chance to work together in this challenge, which is a challenge for the state authorities, but also for the society.
Okay. So do you think Angela Merkel, the Chancellor, is on the right path and Germany should still open the doors to refugees?
I do think that she has analyzed the situation, and she has clearly said we can't close our borders because we also have a responsibility in terms of our own history that we do not want to send anybody who comes from so bad situations in their country away. So I believe, yes, on a humanitarian but also society reasons, we are on the right path with this situation.
I think it is also to do with the empathy of a nation who has itself been not so long ago in a situation that needed help.
Yes.
Okay. So, what about the fears of an Islamic attack that always happens now that it happened in Paris and it had its roots in Syria? We have this whole ISIS syndrome lying on our head. How do you deal with those fears while opening your borders?
Well, I personally do not believe that those who come with a refugee track are really able to be part of such a plot, because I believe that somebody who is coming for months from Syria to Germany, for example, will learn again solidarity and will learn to be in a society. So I believe that whatever will be portrayed, who will be the author of such a such a possible attack, I do not believe that it will be really true that they are part of this refugee track, but it will be. They will have other means to come here, and we can't stop it anyway. And I would never think that it is part of a refugee problem.
Just really, I've slipped this question off my head. Is it true that law and order problem or the criminal offences the number of them have risen as a result of more influx of refugees?
I have not seen any statistics that would prove that, but I haven't followed that as closely as others perhaps have. It is clearly the case that a comparable social group of Germans, young men with low income, perhaps not so good education, they would have a similar amount, percentage-wise, of criminals also there. So yes, we are a little bit afraid also of what happened in Cologne, that this could happen more often. But at the same time, if you look at the amount of refugees who are here, it is only a very, very small number in comparison to that. It's more than 1 million, and we have now a lot of offences that have been told to the police, but in the end, it's a very small percentage of those who have come.
Brilliant, thank you very, very much, sir. That is indeed very, very heartwarming to realize that people here in Germany, from officers to people, have their empathy more strong than their fears, and they are not allowing their fears to take over their empathies yet totally. Let us speak to the Minister of State in the Houses of Parliament about the entire Cologne attack, and also how the government is now facing the challenge of dealing with the refugee crisis.